Nanalo po kami dung 2 games sa Infuse kasi po, nag-practice po kami, todo kahapon po. Then, napagplanuhan na rin po namin yung game style ng Infuse kahit papano. So, yung macro and micro mechanics po namin, parang sync in po talaga sa plano. Then, yung drafting namin, expected na po namin bawat pick and meron din kaming backup po. Pagpasok ni Endless A sa amin, parang nasa edge na kaming tatlo original members ng TNC, si Lando, si Mar. Parang we are already at our limits na. But si Ace yung nagpa-realize sa amin na meron pa, mas malaki pa yung may bibigay namin. Then, parang kuya namin siya na kapatid na ipupush ka, hindi ka susukuan sa mistakes mo and tutulungan ka mag-improve talaga. Then yung pagpasok naman po ni Hai, medyo challenging siya sa amin as a team kasi hindi talaga kami komportable sa isa't isa nung una. Pero as a challenge nung support niya, mas marami ako natututunan sa kanya and mas lalo ako nag-grow up. Kaya napaka-thankful ko sa pagpasok ni Hai.
There is that, ladies and gentlemen, some big words on the news edition sa lineup ng TNC Pro Team. Kami po yung magiging shoutcasters for this game. I am Shinbu with a 1 for an I. At kasama ko syempre si Arctic at your service, ladies and gents, here at the Pro Gaming Series 2017 Summer Split powered by Bagus Energy Drink.
Oh yeah. And I have a personal connection to this game right now. TNC versus JSK, 2 teams with some of my former players that I've worked with. Of course, for TNC, I've worked with both Hayes and Hai. And then for JSK, it's going to be Fade. So this is kind of like the clash of two, especially for Hai and Fade. This is like former teammates on Emperor Esports gonna go at it right now.
Alam mo rin kung paano mag-decide, diba? At gumalaw itong mga players na to, Fade and Hai. It's gonna be very, very interesting. And what would be interesting is this, itong dalawang teams na to relatively new sa
definitely.
PGS. They just entered this pro scene actually.
Last
split lang, no? Bago lamang para sa ating season. Now, for our schedule, as we have mentioned, this is our final set of match. As you can see sa schedule natin that we got, again, na nakalatag para sa inyo. We just came in mula sa laban ng Mineski versus Team Manila Eagles. 2-0 yan para sa TME, still undefeated. Now, it's TNC versus JSK Esports for the final 2 games to be witnessed here in the Pro Gaming Series. And do take note na para sa ating share and win, no? Promo. Ayan po, meron pa rin tayo nakalatag. Tig-5 mystery gift po yan. Okay? Para sa ating mga lucky viewers for each respective game.
And yeah, I mean, this is very interesting kasi at the same time, ayan, so baka gusto mo na lang Mr. Gift, abang-abang-abang. Pero, I mean, another thing kasi is for day 2, 2 zeros across the board. Match 1, it's AEX getting the 2 zeros. Now it's TME. So, will this be another trend for match 3? Tingnan natin.
Sa standings natin, syempre, reflection yan. Between on the score is you've got JSK and of course TNC. It cannot be denied that TNC does the better numbers here with 3 points after 4 games has been played. And of course, you got JSK Esports with only 1 point still after 4 games has been played. Definitely, JSK Esports enters as the underdog here, facing TNC Pro Team. They may want to get that juicy 2-0 rin, di ba? Para makakuha ng 4-point lead and sit beside the ranks of Imperium Pro Team and the Mineski.
Definitely. So, yeah, this is actually a very crucial game, I'd say, for JSK in particular, because they're actually at the bottom of the ladder right now with only 1 win to their name. So they want to reap as many wins as they can to kind of avoid that very awkward position wherein they're actually in a way tied right now with Asian Arena with just 1 point. So of course you want to avoid that last spot because you don't want to get auto-relegated. That's the bottom line.
Well, I still have high regards for Fade. He's my favorite mid laner ever since the early days ng PGS. So
definitely.
Malaking katanungan pa rin talaga kung ano man ang magagawa niya dito sa game. It cannot be denied that Hai could definitely impact a game heavily.
Definitely.
Alam natin yan, di ba?
I feel like Hai is one of those players na may untapped potential. And based on the interview that Orthros had, feeling ko didn't work as well with La Liga. It didn't work as well with Emperor. Pero feeling ko ito na talaga yung time ni High. Third time's a charm. And based on the dynamic that TNC has, not to mention, I have high regards for Endless Ace. I peg him as one of the more intellectual players mechanically in terms of strategy talaga. So he definitely brings a fresh take onto TNC, which is a very fresh, very promising roster with that type of thinking at the helm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Knowing Endless Ace is the kind of player na sabi nga dito ni Ortros, magbibigay sa'yo ng idea kung ano pa yung pwede mong gawin. As you mentioned, a different take on the game, a refreshing take on the game. Actually, a player who has played the most number of champions in a single split, diba? Last split lamang. So, alam natin ano yung mabibigay ni Endless Ace dito. Interestingly, gonna be playing a different position compared to what he usually played, diba?
Yeah, definitely.
And so, ladies and gents, we're just gonna be waiting up to load onto the drafting phase for this Game 1. On this final set of match, once again, team TNC Pro Team versus JSK Esports. Your thoughts so far, as we mentioned, gonna be the night na TNC, I mean JSK Esports would be entering as the underdog dito against TNC.
Definitely.
But, you know, I'd be calling this like a 1-1.
1-1.
You know, I'm like a personal fan of JSK.
Yeah, I mean, I have lots of love for my players, especially Fade is such a hard-working player, pero at the same time, statistically right now, JSK is definitely in a very tough position right now because, I mean, they've only had one single roster change, swapping out their mid, getting Fade, which is a very promising player, but as far as overall team dynamic and improvement, that's something I'm yet to see right now. And the thing is, kasi with TNC, it's a very tricky because like we mentioned, they have High, they have Haze, they got Endless Aids, all three players excellent additions to the team. And if anything, TNC became much more stronger substantially than they were last split. That being said, JSK definitely has a very rough road ahead, but if they pull it off in this game, then I'm definitely a believer.
And one of the star players din kasi ng JSK dito on Spear, diba?
Oh, Spear, my boy.
Kaya be denied na, ang jungle kasi ngayon, sa meta ngayon, napaka-unhealthy. When I say unhealthy, I'm mentioning the pull that is available sa jungle ngayon. Parang inalis lang si Rengar, tas walang masyadong dinagdag. TNC, as we mentioned, star player on Spear, Ivern, who cannot forget Spear's Ivern. So,
exactly.
Drafting phase for the bans.
I mean, here we go. It's gonna be the Elise. I would actually be very surprised if this is gonna be a consistent thread of junglers, but actually I'm actually proven wrong. So, ayan, we are actually gonna have Thresh and Kha'Zix banned out from JSK as well, and a lot of junglers, 5 out of 6. So dito lalabas yung creativity as to what junglers we might be seeing. Rengar is still an option, Lee Sin as well. So yan, again, itong tunay na test na dito kung hanggang saan yung pocket picks na kayang dalhin ni both Spear and Burst.
It's interestingly, JSK investing 3 picks, no, in the jungle here. Gonna be removing the Zac. Gragas could, you know, flex for top lane, but you know, you also get the Elise here. I'm really curious. So with this kind of pull, JSK would want to prioritize picking jungle early, at least on their second rotation of picks. Priority ngayon dito ng TNC. Interestingly, Endless is gonna be the one playing for the ADC position, and it is an all-out girl power Feathers on the Flower, Saya paired with the Zyra in the bot lane. And now this time Syndra as well. So power pop girls tayo dito ngayon. Tingnan natin yung JSK. Will there be a reveal on the jungle? We're gonna be seeing Graves despite the nerfs on the early game. Still Spear gonna be rolling that guy and his Lady Destiny.
Yes, definitely. And let's go ahead and check out the picks thus far. So I'm actually interested in seeing how Endless Ace will perform. Pero yeah, like you mentioned, Endless Ace is all over the place in a good way for TNC right now. Yesterday, he was on support, he was on mid, now he's going AD carry. Ano ba to next week? Magja-jungle? Like mamaya ba? Magja-jungle na ba siya?
Mamaya katabi nyo na yan. Mamaya kalaro nyo na yan.
Oh my goodness. But at least, honestly, this just goes to show how flexible Endless Ace is. You know, I think I recall him questioning himself. Maybe he should just stick with one role. But I feel like this is a strong suit that he has. He can adapt to all these different roles, and I think that definitely plays a significant that's actually a good card for TNC right now with what he has. And considering he's at the helm, it just goes to show that he could still maintain relevance whatever role he plays on the team and still spearhead, and that's a great asset for TNC. But let's go ahead and check out the bans right here. Galio Shen, Fiora and Elise. So a lot of heavy emphasis on Whistle right here, actually.
Yeah.
While they're still holding out another band, another jump.
I'm not so sure if that
Double
is...
release. Yeah, that's
I'm
not
not so
a
sure if
release,
that
it's
is
a
an
bug.
release
Yeah.
for the final bans here by JSK. But nonetheless, reviewing for the big series, you're gonna be seeing the Kled, Hecarim naman, after the removals of lots of junglers. I'm not so sure what is the position of Hecarim really right now in the jungle.
Yeah, I know. That's actually true. Pero thinking about, this is what I really love. This is a very classic,
Classic
tandem.
Oo.
Kled and Hecarim. Kabayo racing all the way for
Yeah,
Hecarim.
it's just so weird because you got no one really to augment Hecarim here. Hecarim's movement speed. Usually, pinapares yan kasama yung Karma, ganon. Or at least Oriana in the mid lane. But rather, siguro naubusan na lang talaga ng pick dito si Burst. That's why they're gonna be opting for the Hecarim. Sobrang, yun na nga, sobrang gigil nga ng JSK. Dalawang Elise yung binan nila dito. Pero right now, Indian Elise. And of
Definitely.
course, you got a Talia, Janet to be revealed as well. The final pick from JSK is gonna be on Rumble. So, recalling from the previous split, we've known the playstyle of the top laners here. Lando is a
Definitely.
very aggressive, and you know, he leans more on the duelist type top laners. Knowing Miss Camille, you know, you got a Fiora as well. Remember the Bagyong Lando.
Yeah,
and,
there you go. Bagyong Lando, there you
oh,
go.
and you also got now Lando playing a Kled, which is, as we mentioned, a very clunky champion in League of Legends. Pero pagdating sa dueling process, nako, we've known this one in the MSI. I can recall, I think it's on World Elite, if I'm not mistaken, the China team. Where
Yeah.
they got a very good Kled player here. We've known Daigo as well in the LCL.
Oh, yeah,
Capabilities, which is all of that reflecting the capabilities of a Kled as a champion. But overall, for these two comps, what are your thoughts, Arctic?
Well, what's really interesting is that JSK, they're very reminiscent of letting Fade be the last pick. It's somewhat the same thing we did during Emperor Esports before,
Okay.
because we know how Fade is. He has such a wide, diverse champion pool. That being said, I like how JSK is going into this with the mindset that Fade could actually adjust to whatever champion, whatever counter they need. Pero at the same time, I've seen a lot of Talia from Fade lately.
Yun nga.
I think it's very double-edged in the sense that, sure, he's very efficient at the Talia, but I feel like restricting him to just this repetitive Talia plays over and over again, it's actually limiting the talent that he has on all these different champions. And if there's one thing I actually regret with Emperor Esports before, is not allowing Fade that versatility to show how much he can shine on all these different champions. Pero maybe JSK definitely has a game plan here. I'm pretty sure that they're not just choosing Talia for the sake of it. They definitely want to utilize Talia. I mean, like, think about it. Weaver's Wall, it limit the space that TNC could work with,
Yeah.
and then pattern that with an excellent equalizer. That would
Yun
be
yung
very
nakikita ko
painful.
strategy dito. Tapos of course, reverse wall synergizes as well with end of the line. Burst
Yes.
mismo rin ng collateral damage. I'm just really curious. I miss those days, you know, I recall yung pinaka talagang hangang-hanga ako kay Fade was the time he was playing LeBlanc,
Oh, yes.
Lissandra. I think that was during the time of Naga pa. But overall, this is our loading screen, ladies and gentlemen. You could see our players and their faces and our champions there as well. Sa mga viewers natin, sino kaya sa palagay nyo ang mananalo? You could put in the hashtag TNC win or hashtag JSK win as we proceed with our game. And again, I want to say the biggest congratulations din sa mananalo ng ating mystery gift. I-share nyo na po yan. I-share nyo na itong mismong live stream ngayon na nagaganap sa Facebook. We are live as well on YouTube. Pero yung sa Facebook, share nyo yan with the respective hashtag na pinakita kanina and you get a chance to win a mystery gift.
Oh, yes, indeed. And now that I think about it, one of the other reasons why we might actually be seeing Fade resigning himself to using champions is like Talia, because if you're gonna look at JSK as a whole, as a team, they're known for these very aggressive high-risk, high-reward plays. That being said, kasi, like you mentioned, Fade is known for his LeBlanc, his Zed, lalo nung Celestial Esports days. Sobrang, that's one of my favorite teams from the PGS thus far. That being said, yun nga, dahil super aggressive ang JSK, Fade actually fits in the sense na, sure, we won't be able to see him as much on those type of champions, but he makes up for it by providing what champions JSK actually needs. Dahil nga, because a lot of them are pretty aggressive in how they play. So, if anything, his diversity in champ will actually complements JSK Esports. But of course, like we mentioned, we couldn't discount TNC because, like I meant, TNC for me is one of the came off the better end with the roster changes that they've had. Like, TME is at the top. Second for me is TNC roster-wise with the changes that they made. But of course, we'll have to see how that into the rift later.
Of course, ladies and gents. And mentioning as well, lalo pa dun sa magaganap na laban na to, composition-wise, ang ganda nung nung nasa pick-up din dito ng TNC. You got a Syndra. That is, very threatening. I'm not so sure if there's like a very solid protection na pwede manggaling dito mula kay Jana. But still, it's an intuitive pick. Let's get on to our game, ladies and gents. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, to our summoners, we welcome you on the game 1 for the final matchup of today's episode. Once again, TNC Pro Team versus JSK Esports. Interestingly, what was featured there was Blaze. I think he's taking the bench right now.
Yeah.
As the one who'll be playing the support position would be Hype.
I'm a bit sad because like two of my favorite players from both sides, both Hai and Blaze, I'm not seeing in this game right now, but still, I mean, we have a great game ahead of us. So anyways, let's go ahead and check things out.
Actually, si Blaze daw yung nanalo sa survey kung sinong pinakagwapo sa PGS. Parang magkaroon ng PGS Idol 2017. Yun yung poll ngayon.
Yeah, I mean, that's why, this is exactly why he's the poster boy for JSK Esports right there.
Naka-perks ka, no? Pogi ka na, magaling ka pa mag-lol.
Yun.
Diba? Shoutouts dun sa mga magaling mag-lol pero di pogi. Or shoutout sa mga pogi na hindi magaling mag-lol. Ayan. Alright, so
RIP.
Back in our game, pretty standard start. Of course, we'll be seeing the infestation of the Doran's Shield.
Yeah,
over the Summoner's Sleep.
Manifesting in itself. Yeah.
Top lane, okay pa yan pero sa bot lane talaga, ang weirdo lang talaga.
It's so weird. Like, imagine an AD carry tapos may dala silang shield, like, visually. Pero,
what can we say? It's a good item.
Yeah, definitely. The passive really benefits. Definitely allows them a little bit more control sa mga waves because of the extra 5 damage on the minions.
Plus, the regeneration. So, it just makes for laning. It's a perfect item for laning. Perfect item for laning.
I'm not sure if that's intentional with the direction right was going. But anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and check out the jungle passing right here.
Okay.
Hecarim and Graves starting opposite sides of the map. So I really like, because like this is what I really like looking at the right of that, where the junglers are starting, because it gives you a rough idea as to where they'll be transitioning as far as the gank.
Yeah.
And in opposite side, so bot, I'm definitely expecting Spear maybe transitioning to the top side. And yeah, because Kled, even though with the Scar, he's a little bit more on the vulnerable side earlier on. Tapos ito namang si Burst, he has this tendency to really prioritize ganks earlier on sa bot.
Yeah, and is actually gonna go for that second buff, saving his might. But by the time he ganked both, he's still level 2 and he would have a low health. So,
Lando though. Taking a lot of damage. That's actually tricky when you're up against a Rumble.
Yeah. And yep, gonna go for the Raptor. So after the Raptor, pwede siya mag-level up. Maybe aim for a gank in the mid lane. Let's see though. Kasi right now, I don't think this bot lane is an option.
Definitely. Because like if you're gonna look at the champions especially, like A-Style and Hype, they have a, I mean that's a pretty textbook duo right there. Caitlyn and Janna.
Yeah.
So you could go aggressive, like if you could land the Howling Gale, follow it up with a trap, then that's a good. And then you could also go, also use it as a defensive mechanism as well. And then yeah, ito naman si Endless Ace or throws a little bit more of a impactful, dangerous. Yeah, pero junglers actually spotting each other out.
You know what's so weird? Oh wait, Burst here casted the devastating charge, positions himself to cancel so that he won't be able to use that blasting cone. Force and burn the flash away from Spear.
Oh man, I'm not sure if that was the best option for Spear right there. Yeah. Forcing out, losing actually a flash earlier on. So this kind of, well, it doesn't necessarily have a full impact on his jungling. It's just that he's limited in a way, because that flash could have been used for more efficient means, like when you're going for a gank, trying to seal that last hit to kill a champion. So ayan, it's a sayang because it's a missed opportunity, a misspell earlier on, but oh no.
And knowing without any flash from the jungler, maybe knowing that Graves will take a breather on his own jungle, it's gonna be Burst being proactive in the early game. 4 minutes into the game, gains the first blood against Weasel.
Oh man, Whistle. This is actually very well played by TNC. They know that Spear took a lot of damage during that invade right there, and as a result, they knew that he wouldn't be able to respond as fast. Not to mention the fact that Whistle was way pushed in. That being said, Whistle, he really should have noted how he should have just kind of restrained a bit, knowing that he wouldn't get any responses just yet.
Yes, and what's so interesting here is that the bottom duo of JSK, A-Style and Hype, kahit nasa low mismo ni A-Style yung combo ni Zyra dito, hindi nila inatrasan, no? They just went all in on Orthros here.
Yeah.
And recalling this combo na, Janna and Caitlyn, I just realized na ganun, pag si Saya, dapat pag nag-Feather Storm siya, tapos hinauling Gale mo, dapat tatalsik siya eh.
Yeah. Yeah, supposedly. Tornado
Kaso CC immunity ang Feather Storm eh. Just that, diba, lumilipad lang siya, dapat nga mas mataas pa yung impact ng... Tapos dapat, pag hinahauling Gale mo yung feathers ni Saya, tumatalsik din, nawawala din, or pag mo, minusun. Come on, League of Legends, be more accurate.
Yeah.
With champion interactions.
Physics.
Yeah, sabi nga ni Dinger, science!
There you go.
Alright. The status back in this bot lane. As you mentioned, mataas yung pressure na pwedeng gawin ng Saya at Zyra based of the damage output that they can. But utility-wise kasi, tas samahan mo pa ng Caitlyn. Kung agresibo yung Caitlyn, it's very rewarding to pair a Janna with.
Oh, definitely. So yeah, let's just see how this will go. TNC had a great start. Again, this is what happens when you have such a great mind and great shot caller like Endless Ace right there. And I mean, it just shows that that was the key ingredient that TNC needed, because like I keep on saying, TNC has a very fresh roster. Yung initial roster, si Lando, si Burst, and si Orthros, very young, so much room for improvement. That being said, when you have someone like Endless Ace to harness that potential, grab it could lead to great things for them. It's clearly translating right now. If anything, I wouldn't actually be surprised if TNC would be a top contender potentially to make it to the top 4.
Yeah, so this bottom lane, there's just lots of things on the ground right now in the bottom lane. There's the coins mula dun sa ancient coin mismo nila, ni Janna. There's also the traps. There's also the plants ni Zyra, and not to mention the feathers ni Saya dito. So right now, yung first blood na yon would actually translate onto a Sheen. And what's interesting here is that Circus grips the first item here of Spear.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, actually now that
is interesting.
Yeah.
You don't normally see that.
Oh, no? I hear a charge though.
In the top lane. Now once again, round 2 on Weasel, 0-2. And it's again Burst who gets that kill.
Oh man, I really like how Burst kind of has a very unpredictable yung where he might be ganking. Like I mentioned, I was kind of expecting that there might be some action in the bot lane, but no, he's actually capitalizing on the positioning that Whistle has. Not to mention the fact that, like we mentioned, very textbook na pagsamahin ng Kled and Hecarim.
Yeah, I want to apologize. I really thought there was no one to augment the Hecarim's movement speed. Pero yes, put in the charge here with 8 ace on it. Ang bilis na movement speed. So, that's big burst damage from the devastating charge. Ang pwedeng mabigay kay Burst dito.
And the tricky part is Whistle has to realize that he's running a somewhat of an immobile champion. Yeah. The reason why he's actually sticky is because of yung Harpoon as well as the Equalizer. But with that especially when you're up against Hecarim and a Kled, parang that's kind of moot at that point. That being said, it's either Whistle needs to kind of be a little bit more reserved in his positioning and how he plays out this lane, and maybe Spear at the same time needs to be a little bit more proactive in ganking the top lane. Pero ang hirap rin kasi when you're running a Rumble, especially with that Flame Splitter, ang hirap i-manage ng wave
Yes.
Very hard.
And it would be very bad for a mid game for JSK kung hindi makabawi itong Rumble nila. At least build a sizable item pagpasok ng mid game kasi napaka-game changing ng Equalizer.
Definitely. So yeah, hopefully this is the thing though. Whistle just needs to avoid becoming a casualty later on. Baga, hinay muna. Wait until the time that Rumble really shines with those crucial equalizers during clashes. Yon, abangan nyo yun. Pero sa ngayon, yun, iwas muna because 0-2, not exactly the best start.
Yeah.
Admittedly. Tapos lalo pa you give it to Burst. We know how Burst, he's been bursting his way, pun intended actually, bursting his way through the PGS thus far. So ayun, they have to be really careful about that. Kasi lalo na, like I mentioned, they're running a Hecarim and a Kled.
Yeah.
They could easily like bring the fire onto Jengski when they least expect it because of that speed, because of that unpredictability in a way. You could hear that charge, pero yung akala mo medyo matagal pa, pero yung pala, boom, andun na pala sila.
And he's definitely going ham on his itemizations. Right now, Shin and Page.
Yeah.
Not even a boots on this Hecarim. So makikita mo doon kung gaano gusto i-push pa ni Burst yung kanyang lamang na nakuha. Simula dun sa first blood and now on his second kill.
But now that I think about it, I'm realizing the beauty of Jengski drafting this Talia right here. Because like I mentioned, yung may pagka-unpredictable, yung element of surprise nung charge in ni Kled along with the Hecarim. One Weaver's Wall, one strategically placed Weaver's Wall is all they need to stop that.
Yes, that is true. So yun lamang. Plus, yung consistency lang mula kila A-Style tsaka kay Hype. I'm just really curious. Haven't seen that much Saya pickups so far sa laro natin. But one thing I know is that Saya is very strong.
I mean, Marky just showed that earlier.
Yes, in terms of scaling, we give it definitely we've known na Caitlyn, no?
Oh yeah.
Pagdating ng late game, napaka-reliable ni Caitlyn kahit pa nagkaroon ng nerfs doon sa renounce niya. It doesn't still hurt numbers that Caitlyn brings in the ADC position.
Oh man. Well, I'm actually interested in checking out where Burst is now.
Yeah. Oh, actually
so
watching
leaning towards the top lane once again.
For his next gank, no?
Which is why Whistle has to be very careful with how he pushes out that lane because he wasn't like kahit sabihin natin nasa gitna yung wave, because of the unique circumstance na they're running a Kled and Hecarim, it doesn't really matter. What he wants to do is kind of wants to be 1/4 away from the tower, not kind of halfway, but just 1/4 because of that tricky situation with the Hecarim right there. But
you can see a rotation there as well coming in from Jengski, predicting
yeah.
kung gagank man lamang si Burst dito sa top lane. You could see how Spear and actually Fade rotated in the top lane. But of course, that is Burst actually getting his boots finally, upgrading his jungle item. Now, taking some steps forward dito sa bottom lane na to. Tingnan natin if will he commit. He got a sweeping lens. He has an idea na walang ward doon, but he is spotted by that side brush ward. So, ayun din, situation sa top lane na pwesong bumili ng Ninja Tabay si Weasel.
definitely.
Gonna be delaying his hunting guys, not to mention the Leandris itself.
Ooh, Burst actually trying to make things happen. It will be spotted out by the ward though. Pero still, A-Style has to be very careful. He's very low on mana right now. So, if anything, probably what efficiently he'll be able to is a Caliber net out, plus a trap. But other than that, he can't really do as much. Which is why it definitely solicits a recall eventually.
Yeah.
But still, Spear actually within the vicinity.
Yes, and our game has taken a slow pace muna. Ayun, 12-minute mark. Ocean Drake is the one that is live in the Summoner's Reef. It cannot be denied that both of these two junglers has their eyes set on this bot lane. Lalo pa kung balance yung position ng waves. Okay. Ooh. Now, Spear is not spotted by that ward. That's one thing. So this, there's gonna be the grasping roots all in, but of course Hype would go down first. Next is Orthros, teleport comes in from Landos. Burst is here, mukhang wala nang abutan si Lando. And then nandun pa si A-Style. Hayes did not land the crowd control on si A-Style, but it doesn't matter. You got a ult, you got a burst, you got 3 members of Jengski falling into the hands of TNC.
And just like that, looking at the scoreboard, 5-1, and as the cherry on top of that getting that 4 kills, they get 3 kills pala actually rather. They get the Drake to boost indeed.
And ayun, hindi rin pinalo up ni Weasel dito. Rather, he's gonna aim for the push. Big question really is with this kind of itemizations, you won't have that much damage sa Torre. I mean, even if it would help really kung at least meron ka man lang AP. Kasi that actually adds up to your damage as well. Pero, yep, right now, I don't see this start going down.
This is actually the positive for Whistle right here because of the fact that, like I mentioned, the tricky part when you're laning against the Kled and you're a Rumble is that you have a tendency to push out the lane. But because Lando was preoccupied after that teleport, it actually granted Whistle the opportunity to just kind of push lane, get the turret to more than half health. So this is actually a good stepping stone for Jengski. Although, like they have to still watch out because TNC actually in the position. The momentum is in their hands right now.
What is so weird though is that I think Fade is trying to find the right timing and angle kung kailan niya ipapasok yung reverse wall kasi wala akong nakitang reverse wall kanina dun sa bot lane engage. So that's one. You know, and right now, this is definitely a lead here by TNC.
Definitely.
And you know what's minutes into the game?
Really good here because like last split, one of my favorite players from TNC because I know for a fact he's so strong. In fact, has the potential to become one of the best top laners is Lando. But right now, I'm loving the maturity that I'm seeing from Burst this split. If anything, like you mentioned, Spear is a very, like you think Jengski, Spear is one of the strongest players that they have because of how he plays out in the jungle. But he has to watch out because Burst actually showing lots of consistency these past few games, including this game.
Indeed. So right now, equalizer to farm. Here, you can see na mukhang Jengski is calling timeout muna. Okay? Not really going all in with his rotations. Yun din kasi talaga, ang hirap, mga kaibigan, yung nangyari kay Graves ngayon. And it is felt here by Spear, despite fighting an unpopular jungler na Hecarim. Right now, mas mataas ang burst, or rather, ang presence ni Burst dito kaysa kay Spear.
Pero at the same time, I gotta commend Spear. One of the saving graces, although not as big a deal, is the fact that he's up a few CS kay Burst. Pero what's that in comparison to a 3-0-1, 80% kill participation?
Yeah, and a 15-minute Trinity Force.
Yeah, I mean,
that is very dangerous, man.
Grabe talaga. So, Jengski definitely has their work cut out for them. Pero I feel like one of the crucial things here is once they hit the 5v5s, Fade is key right here. He has to guarantee that he has the best positioning for that Weaver's Wall to prevent TNC from maximizing the composition that they have.
Alright, so you could see that Spear is actually taking up a position for the top lane, showed himself. Will he connect? Will he land it? Will they chase? This part of flash against Lando. Spear actually steps in as Fade is actually under turret rate. Spear's the one tanking this.
Ooh.
No equalizer. I think this went an awkward sight para dito sa Jengski. Fortunately, nila nakuha yung kill kay Lando. Race ngayon para sa first blood turret.
Yeah, but looks like TNC will emerge on the upper spectrum. But still, good on Jengski. We're finally seeing some great proactivity from them. They do at least get a turret, although not the first turret, but it's a good start. But TNC actually gonna continue the push.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. Deliver your support as well in the mid lane. And take home an inner mid lane chariot as well.
I feel like Jengski could have played that push better because it's already a given na hindi nila matitake yung first turret. That being said, they should have at least probably at least one player mag-back na to defend in the mid lane because TNC was definitely within their faculties to push that so hard.
At least the wave clear, putting the Zephyr, rather Howling Gale muna. They're gonna be trying to burn that Weather Storm, which has been cast A-style and gets some breaks by Burst. There's also the Onslaught of Shadows, ground control onto Hype, teleport to be used here by Weasel, but that is burned there by Jengski Esports top laner.
Grabe, sobrang sakit ni Burst ngayon. He is bursting.
Yeah,
living up to his IGN actually, so quite refreshing. But yeah, I mean, 6-1 right now for TNC. Very definitive. 5,000 gold lead at 17 minutes into the game. Yeah. And they have great control of this map so far. If anything, across all the lanes, like one of the saving graces for Jengski right now is they're being a little bit more proactive across the map. But as far as the laning, medyo dun sila nalulugi right now because TNC has lots of control.
TNC is winning battles on all fronts.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Top lane, bot lane, even in the mid lane, actually. And this is really a tight spot para sa Jengski. It would require some sort of a miraculous play where the likes of Spear or even A-Style or even Fade would get multiple kills. At least ganon. Kasi ngayon, hindi magandang balita to para kila A-Style, even kay Hype. You know, Burst, getting the Trinity Force. All he needs is to pick up the Dead Man's Plate, man. And yeah, it's as good as set.
And the tricky part here for Jengski is because they're a bit behind, going into these 5v5, they have to execute the contingency plan nila to perfection. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of weight on Fade right now because those Weaver's Wall would be very crucial and will dictate the flow of all these clashes once these heavy 4v4, 5v5 start going on. And ang problema kasi dito, guaranteed because of the lead that TNC has right now, minus the Weaver's Wall tools aside, kung silang unang mag-pull ng trigger, it'll definitely go in their favor. Kasi with the burst that Burst has right now, no pun intended, along with Lando with the charge, sobrang sakit ng damage na madideal niya. He could just go straight in onto A-Style.
Maybe they have to decide a dive here in the bot lane. It's time to cast that Weaver's Wall. And there we go, ladies and gents. But of course, there's still the teleport. Struggle towards to isolate Fade. He might be the first one to go down first to flash away. He's in the hole onto Ortros. Flash out as well. And here comes Burst. And Praise on the hype. He is dead. Unstoppable for the jungler of TNC. Axel is doing what he can. Maybe land those traps. Crowd control is not connecting. But the ult will be as the bottom duo of JSK is destroyed here by TNC. Make the outer bottom lane tower as well.
Oh man, JSK definitely struggling to find their footing in this game. And I don't know, man. JSK, at this point, if they're not able to respond to the proactivity from TNC, I mean, nakita mo naman may attempts eh.
Yeah.
Pero because of the lead that TNC has, it's so easy for them to just follow up on it that JSK definitely struggling. Ang tricky kasi dito is, I feel like one of the ways JSK could try to get back into this game is they have to be less ambitious with the clashes. They have to make smaller pickoffs. They don't want to go really big because in the big fights, TNC definitely prevails. But that being said, they have to find those opportunities and try to get back. So let's go ahead and check out what happened here. Fade actually has a great Weaver's Wall, and this is actually what they want to do. They want to try to isolate members, but the fact is, A-Style actually taking so much harass from both Ortros and Endless Ace right there. So it's because of how long that took, it actually allowed TNC to get back into the game. Like I mentioned, Burst and Lando, because of the speed that they could try to get, because of the tools that they have to get straight into these clashes, it works so well in TNC's favor that yun nga eh, itong like JSK couldn't last long enough to withstand that.
Yeah. And they allowed themselves to be zoned out by the Strangletorch. I feel like pwede pa rin silang pumalag doon. At least makakuha ng early kill. Kahit tumayo sila sa Strangletorns. But what's very interesting there is that Weasel wasn't able to teleport. The crucial part there was that they got parang na-aurahan sila nung nakita nila yung teleport ni Lando. And I think there's also a signal on Weasel na wala siyang teleport. During that time, Weasel's teleport was on cooldown. So, there's a heavy call to coordinate that engage. Despite 4 members is invested there in that bot lane, malaking bagay yung idea na pwedeng makabackup sa inyo yung jungler nyo. Kasi equalizer, imagine throughout that fight, if there was an equalizer strip in that bot lane.
Man, oh man, oh man. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and see. JSK, they have to play the defense right now. They clearly, I don't feel like they have the room to really go into these clashes, but oh no, Spear in quite the trouble. Actually flashes into the Baron, but wow. Burst. The burst is real, living up 6-0 and 1 on this hacker. Man, oh man, MVP. Clearly evident right now.
And there was delay pa doon ni Spear. He was actually aiming maybe to at least burst someone kung may follow-up man yung teammates niya using an end of the line. Pero rather, I think nagkaroon yata ng available cooldown kaagad bigla dun si Burst. Onslaught of Shadows, diretso lamang papunta doon kay Spear. And I'm starting to get a feeling na off the page, off the same page itong membro ng JSK. Kasi Spear was expecting for a backup at least, pero sabi ng ibang kasama niya doon is that, hindi, backup na tayo. And right now, they will need to fix that if ever they want to turn things around in this game. Because this Syndra and this Saya wouldn't stop scaling for the late game.
One of the struggles that I've seen with JSK, even during the last split, is when they find themselves in an awkward position na, kasi they're very reminiscent of one of the LCL teams that I've handled, CTIP, wherein one of their key strengths is when they get things going early game, talagang super hataw sila. But when it comes to these points na sila ang behind, they struggle finding their footing to get back into the game.
Yeah.
So that being said, it's something that JSK definitely needs to remedy in the long term to really maintain relevance in the split right now, because all these teams are stepping up their game.
Indeed, man. I mean, slingshot mechanic in League of Legends is actually erratic, I would say. Hindi mo siya madali mahanap, pero I'm pretty sure na meron talaga mga teamfights na pwedeng magpapalik sa inyo. And right now, with this kind of kit, Equalizer, Weaver's Wall, end of the line plus collateral damage, not to mention the Monsoon as well, pwede, di ba? May chance, may fighting chance.
Oh my god, TNC actually gonna go for the Baron, and with Orthros, they're actually speeds it up because the plants are helping out actually. Pero yun, good on Lando, actually going for the charge to scare members of JSK away, but looks like TNC will have to postpone that Baron take for the meantime.
Yes, and teleport is available as well for Weasel. He's actually recalling so that he gets that enhanced movement speed by the time he do the recall. Napaka-risky nun para sa TNC. Buti hindi nila tinuloy. Had it been na tinuloy nila, they can get locked down by the Weaver's Wall. And a perfect teleport from Weasel with that equalizer would wipe members of TNC Pro Team.
Oh yeah. And yeah, good on Whistle, actually trying to exert some level of pressure so that they could still maintain some level of control on this map, because it's definitely all on TNC right now. JSK just needs to make sure that it doesn't go into full control. It's these small things that they kailangan nilang pagtiyagaan to potentially slowly get back into this game if they can.
Yes, indeed. Talagang napaka-threatening lang nitong ano na to. Nitong Hecarim na to.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, not so sure. I think Visage, yes, if Visage is completed here, alas wala nang damage na magagawa si Fade dito. He can even withstand Weasel's equalizer. Then what would happen would be just go for the backline. Dive for the backline and render A-style useless.
And ang isa ko pang problem dito is, I mentioned how Fade is actually a crucial key to avoid this type of aggression, pero I can't really blame Fade for... It's not even the Weaver's Wall being absent, it's because other members actually find themselves in awkward positions where they get picked off, wherein Fade couldn't even go for the full response for the Talia right there. So that being said, it's really a collaborative effort that JSK needs to do to try to get back into this game. First of all, they need to have some consistent vision just so that they wouldn't get picked off by elements such as Kled and Hecarim. And they also individually have to watch their positioning as well, because like I mentioned, if TNC actually spots one isolated member of JSK, all they need is a charge in from both the Kled and Hecarim, and boom, they go down.
Now they got vision as well on the two ADCs here of JSK Esports. Gonna be collapsing on Lando. Do take note that is very tanky. Where's the equalizer? It's actually back in the entrance. I think it could be better with Expire out. Papunta doon sa mid lane. But look at Weasel. He's getting all the knife stabs mula kay Lando. Ace in the hole. Gets cancelled there by the passive of the Kled. Top laner is gone in the pocket of TNC.
Oh man. TNC just really exerting pressure all around, and man, oh man, I feel like at this point, JSK, yung windows of opportunity to get back, sobrang it gets narrower and narrower and narrower. Sobrang nipis na ngayon actually.
Wala akong makita pwedeng makiduel kay Kled.
Yeah, exactly.
Or even kay Burst dito.
And
you know?
Ang interesting dito is when you actually do attempt to duel, ang bilis ng response ng TNC. Like, if it's Lando that's isolated, Burst follows up, and vice versa.
Not to mention, there will be Dark Spears following up, and of course, the Queens of Feathers of the Sayadar. And of course, the plant span ni Zyra. Ang sakit ng harapan dito ng TNC.
Yeah, and ang problem kasi dito is, knowing that this is the strength of the composition that TNC has, JSK Esports technically should have gotten things going on within the first 10 minutes of the game. Because talagang, ito yung mahirap eh, once Lando and Burst has that lead, it's like there's no turning back for TNC at that point. Like, they just keep on having so much control over the map. And it's not necessarily because of the vision, it's because of how fast both Lando and Burst could roam all across the board, that even though JSK wants to go for these pickoffs, it's because of these fast responses from TNC that medyo na-deny, which is why kailangan they have to be fast in execution, which is one of the problems I have with having the Talia at the same time. Like, sure, you have that Weaver's Wall to remedy the aggression, but at the same time, where's like the burst damage only comes from Spear at this point. And because of Spear being a little bit behind, na medyo hindi siya, medyo nahuli pa siya ng konti in comparison to his counterpart, which is Burst. The burst damage that Spear, the much needed burst damage to take down targets fast from TNC isn't quite there.
And actually, humihinay-hinay pa nga dito yung TNC because they're not really forcing things in the Baron Pit. Rather, yeah, AC the whole has been consumed there. Mula kay A-Style, things are getting pretty tricky here. Pero one thing's for sure is that this still looks heavily in favor of TNC. Because, you know, they got the sizable damage to destroy this Baron in the hands of the Zyra. Plus the Shin Crocs of this Hecarim. And bam! Hindi lang Baron yan. I'm actually checking kung nabasag din yung bot lane inner turret. Because kanina pa nakatambay doon si, si Lando. Ayan, so it's not yet destroyed, pero he's gonna be needing that. With the Baron enhanced minion, he can push that.
Man. So yeah, at this point, I feel like since TNC has that Baron, it's almost there's like a very slim, like 3 to 5% chance JSK could fend it off. But that's a calculation that includes TNC needing to make critical errors, which is kind of not happening right now because TNC very consistent so far. And ngayon, it's a challenge for JSK. They need to figure out what weaknesses they made. They need to be a bit more proactive and make things happen going into the next game, because if not, then TNC pulling the trigger faster because of how they draft. Again, like I mentioned, the draft, everything is just beautiful from TNC right now.
Yeah.
How they're playing, the drafting, the decision making, the assurance when making these plays. And again, it all comes down to the great shot calling, I'd say, from Endless Ace, as Arthros mentioned. It
And
brings a fresh take, which helps TNC mature to the team that they are right now.
I would recommend the heavy crowd control as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mula sa JSK. I feel like ang conditional ng mga crowd controls dito ng JSK. We get a Janna, we get a Talia. But not enough compared to someone who just walks you in front, tumatakbo lang sa harapan mo, di ba? You know, you got Burst, you got Lando here. Kasi counter sa mga ganitong champion na talagang rarampage sa harapan mo is a lockdown, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And right now, you don't want habang may hinihiwa o may pinapalo ang isang Kled. That is one of his win conditions. Ganun lang ang simple yun. Now, he got the Guardian Angel as well.
Oh, naman.
Yeah, things are looking pretty gloomy here. The configuration is a 4-1. Sending 4 members to the top lane, knowing na yun na lamang yung nakatayong external threat dito ng JSK Esports.
And
it's a matter of time before they knock and trample on the door of JSK.
And what's interesting here is they could actually afford these splits, but oh, Ace style!
Yeah, they managed to
damage.
survive. Ace in the hole. Monsoon did sustain him. Endless Ace actually used the Feather Storm to burst Ace style.
Pero that being said, ang maganda kasi dito, I like how TNC could actually afford these split pushes because mabilis yung response talaga eh. I keep on repeating it, but that's what makes TNC's composition so beautiful, so effective, which is why they have so much control right now. And this might actually potentially be the game if TNC continues this.
Yeah, they got 2 inhibitor turrets gone and destroyed. I think make that 3. Okay, so kanina namimili tayo kung anong pinto ang papatumbahin dito ng TNC. Mukhang sabay-sabay, ladies and gents. But out of the 3 inhibitors, they've taken 1. Here comes Lando, reunited with Kled. It's actually very interesting Weaver's wall there by Fate. Did cancel the engage, knowing that he cannot flank the back line. Lalo pat full stack yung buhay dito ni Lando ngayon.
Oh man, there we go. That's gonna be another inhibitor down, down, down.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the next team fight. Ultimate has been cast. There's also Burst. Onslaught of Shadow is still available, but they may need Endless Ace to join this fight. They may need Haste as well to join this fight. There's the 2-man stun, plus the Onslaught of Shadows gets countered there by the Sonya's Hourglass. But what would happen after? So you could see tatlo na ang wala dito para sa JSK as TNC Esports, or TNC Pro them rather, would be shoving away members of JSK Esports under their base. I think this could be the game, and yes it is, as JSK Esports will suffer in the hands of the TNC Pro team. It is TNC Pro team's victory for this game 1.
My
Yeah.
TNC. Just again, TME, and then now we have TNC, another team that's really showing up as of this. I really like the stories happening right here. We're in these teams that almost were in a tricky position wherein they could have potentially almost gotten relegated, both TME and TNC now at the top of their game. So again, one thing I have to attribute this to is that if you're gonna look at both teams, kasi we've been talking about how Endless Ace, along with the experience that High and Haze has, that they bring to the table, really contributes to the growth of TNT, yung maturity. This is something that maybe JSK needs to work on because they have a great mechanically skilled player in Fade. But one thing they might actually have to work on is the same growth, the same maturity that TNC is experiencing right now, because it's up to them to really take their game to the next level.
Yes, man.
It's not that JSK is it's not that JSK di naman sa humina sila. They're actually they're as strong as they are from the previous split. But that being said, because everybody's stepping up their game, medyo nahuhuli na sila. So that's what they need to work on. And look at the damage, man.
Oh, man.
I gotta commend A-Style though.
Yeah,
Kahit
consistency.
siya yung highest damage.
Consistency na lang din para sa isang ADC. It's kind of expected really on a KT knowing that she can fight from distance. But I really can't help but feel na Jengski is like entering this match kind of unprepared. You
Yeah,
know,
I know.
parang may pagka one-sided talaga yung game na yun. You cannot really sugarcoat it. And so far, JSK Esports for that game 2 would need a very good draft. That's one. Would need a very good draft. I will not recommend the games. Sadly, I will really not recommend the games. I'm speaking this on behalf of the available stats right now and the meta right now na there's actually a drop on the grade, especially with the nerfs on his early game presence. I feel like JSK could fight more. Kasi I know JSK. I've seen JSK fight it. And they're very powerful when they fight as a team.
Definitely.
You know, so they may want to invest on that. A composition which is nice crowd control, an aggressive composition. Kahit pag ganun ka one-sided siguro itong game mo na to, I would still recommend an aggressive composition mula sa JSK. Like, they really need to flex some muscles, but they have to flex those muscles as one.
There you go, exactly.
As a team. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be the conclusion of this first game for the final match. We are now done. We are now going to our final game of today's episode. But of course, after a quick break, we have been your shoutcasters for this game. I am Shinbu with a 1, 4 and 9, and my partner here is Arctic. This is the Pro Gaming Series 2017 Summer Split, and we'll be right back for the final game. First flash out as well, and here comes Burst. Embrace on the hype. He is the unstoppable for the jungler of TNC. Acer is doing what he can. Maybe land those traps. Crowd control is not connecting. But the collapsing of the land of Dudicto that is very tactic. Where's the equalizer? It's actually back in the entrance. I think it could be better with fire out. Papunta doon sa mid lane. But look at Weasel. He's getting all the backstabs mula kay Lando. Ace in the hole. There's the two-man stun. Plus the onslaught of shadows gets countered there by the Sonya's Arglas. But what would happen after? So you could see tatlo na ang wala dito para sa JSK as TNC Esports, or TNC Pro Team rather, would be showing away members of JSK Esports under their base. I think this could be the game, and yes it is, as JSK Esports will suffer in the hands of the TNC Pro Team. It is TNC Pro Team's victory for this game 1.
My TNC. Again,